Um, Today I was just going to do a weekly roundup of some of the things that happened lately that are in the news. Um, as you know, this guy, General Matthew Whitaker, Attorney General Matthew Whitaker, is the new man on the scene. He took over for Sessions, and um, I think he's going to fire um, Rosenstein immediately, and then down the road he's going to fire Mueller. Another thing, too, when Mueller gets his report finished, whenever that's going to be, he has to turn it in to Mr. Whitaker. And Mr. Whitaker, um, he has he can refuse to release the report once he gets it. And that's all that's all we're hearing about is Mueller's report. But I don't know if there's anything in there that's going to hurt Trump other than this thing with the girls and Cohen, which everyone's been through. And he has some guilty pleas, some other people that were around him. But those guilty pleas talk about properties overseas, and I don't know if they really affect Trump. It looks to me like the only thing affecting Trump in the whole report would be this thing with the two girls, and that he gave the money 130, 150,000 for the girls, and he didn't put on his report that he has to file as the government as an expense um, for the running the election. I don't think they were on there. And then the question is, can he amend that report? And when was it due to file and things like that? So I don't know if there's that much against Trump in Mueller's report. And the other thing is Whitaker doesn't want to send it in. Whitaker can keep it because he, in his position, Attorney General, he can keep it. He can do what he wants with it as far as filing it away or whatever. Um, the Another thing that came up in the last couple of days is this thing in Florida where let's see that paper. What surprised me were the dog racing in Florida is going to be over in the end of 2020. I'm really into dog racing a lot, and I love it. And I lived in Florida for a while, went to school there, and every night you go to dogs. You can go to the horses in the daytime and the dogs at night. The horses are keeping, but the dogs are out. And at the end of 2020, the dog racing is over. And it's really amazing because they have so many dogs down there, you know. I'm talking about a lot of dogs. And they think a lot of these dogs will be sent to other tracks or let people adopt them. Right now they got 3,700 greyhounds in Florida, and um, they say 1,500 to 2,000 will go somewhere else because they have some tracks in some other states like Alabama, Iowa, Texas, and West Virginia. Um, they have dog racing, and they also let you make bets on other things there in those states. That would be one, two, three, four other states, and they're going to have to try to take all the dogs. They say some of the dogs are running and they're dying. They're trying to say that 500 died from running over a period of time, or they put them in a cage and they find them dead. I don't know. I'm uh, I'm for the dogs. I'm for dog racing. I loved it. I love to sit there and watch it. But I will say this: they run outside in Miami and Florida, and they run year round, and the temperatures there are really, really hot, as you know. I mean, it's nothing to have 110 degrees in Miami or North Miami or whatever in the daytime and even at night. And most of the time, the dogs are running at night. The horses run during the day, but the temperatures there are really, really hot. But they're also, in my opinion, if they can get rid of dog racing, I think next will be the horses. And if they get rid of the horses, that'll kill me. Because I love the horses. I love to watch them run. And from the time I was 5 years old, my father would take me to the horse races every day. We lived in West Virginia, and Wheeling Downs Racetrack was right across the street from where we had our business in downtown Wheeling. At 2 o'clock every day, I'd be at the races. Across that bridge, Wheeling Downs. I knew all the jockeys, I knew all the horses. I even knew the guy that owned the track, Bill Elias. But then one day in particular, my dad said he couldn't go. He had to go to the doctor or something. So I knew where everything was in the bar and the restaurant and everything. I knew they kept the money in a big box underneath underneath one of the counters. So I just took that box of money and headed across the bridge to Wheeling Downs. I was going to the races. And that's where I went. I knew everybody over there, so if I want to make a bet, I can give a bet money to anybody, and they go buy me a ticket. And I know my mother was wondering what happened to me. I was there for several hours. I can't remember how I come out with the money, but my mother sent me after a while. But I'll never forget those horses. I love the horses. I love the dogs. And in my opinion, I think they could regulate these a little more, especially the dogs. But I hate to see them ending dog racing in Florida and some of these other states. Thank you.